My name is Joy Marie. I'm a legal practitioner living with sickle cell anemia, which makes me a warrior.
My name is Nteteɛ Oladimeji. I'm a married woman, and God has blessed me with 5 children. And I have one among them, warrior, his baby boy, and her name is Anjolajesu.
Hi everyone, my name is Beckley Emmanuel. I'm an anatomist and a medical doctor, and I'm a sickle cell warrior.
Okay, I found out I had sickle cell anemia when I was about 6 years old.
I find in the time that I was 2 years old.
I got to know about my condition when I was 4 years old.
Living with sickle cell anemia, it's a long and tough journey, and it has been that way for me. It's a journey that is filled with ups and downs. It affects everything about your life.
So growing up with sickle cell has been quite challenging for me, but with the help of my family members and my friends, they've been quite supportive, knowing my condition, and it has helped me a lot to accept myself in society.
For people living with SCD, one of the areas it affects our life is jobs, especially if you're working in a private organization. I've worked in a private organization just once, and I know that when you consistently start saying you're sick, you're sick, you're sick, your employee, the person just gets tired of it. And because the private organization, they tell you they need the money, they need money, they need people that can work to bring you money and all of that, and they might not want to keep you. Even though in my own case, it didn't get to that part because I got a government job and I left.
To work in the health line, my job personally, it's been awesome because I have colleagues that are very supportive when they hear about my condition, and they give me all the support and all the moral backing that I need. And I haven't really had any issues with my job because of my condition. I have not lost a job before, and I think this boils down from it comes from a place of understanding yourself and accepting your own self. I have come to accept my condition, and I am very much aware of who I am and how to take care of myself. So before I even put it out to you that I'm a sickle cell warrior, you probably have even given me the job.
Another area that it affects will be your relationship life. Growing up, well, probably because I had a pretty face, I had a lot of guys around me, but then there were guys that will be scared when they hear that you have sickle cell anemia, and there are a few guys that will stick around.
As regards dating and relationships, well, I've never had issues with my partners or anyone I have dated as regards my condition, because most times, okay, personally, I don't think I look like it. So most people don't even believe when I say I'm a sickle cell warrior.
When I was about to marry my husband, there were people that didn't want it to happen. I had even my friends that called my husband to ask him, like, do you know that this person has sickle cell anemia? There people that told him not to go on and all of that.
I am not the one that falls sick easily, so it's not something that would make anyone worried about. And then most of the people I have dated, a number of the people that I've dated were actually very supportive of my condition, even after they found out that I was a sickle cell warrior. It did not stop them from, being friends or going into relationships with me.
So another issue that you may face if you're living with SCD is the issue of finance. It's really, really expensive and tasking living with SCD. Wherever you are, it's an expensive life because you're daily on drugs, and these drugs are not cheap. And the thing with drugs, the better the drugs, the most expensive it is. And even the healthcare system, it's very expensive. And basically in Nigeria, healthcare is expensive. Good healthcare is expensive. So I used to live in Zaria, and it was a lot cheaper when I was in Zaria because there's a teaching hospital there. But when I moved to Abuja, I realized that everything was different. I was paying over 3 times what I used to pay before.
Financially, well, it's the financial implication of living with sickle cell is very challenging because most times you're either in and out of the hospital. For me personally, I don't have crisis frequently because I avoid a lot of things. For example, during the raining season, I try to keep myself warm, and I try not to expose myself to cold and all of that. So I don't have crisis frequently. So in a way, it has reduced my hospital visits, my hospital stays, and um, more or less reduce the amount of money I spend on medications and drugs generally, or hospital admissions and management. But I would say generally or in all, sickle cell has a very poses a huge financial burden on sickle cell warriors because you spend a lot on drugs, on treatment. Some of them some sickle cell warriors that have to do with AVN, which is avascular necrosis, have to go for surgeries and regular checkups and everything. It comes with a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of commitment.
Most things people say, get to you. Sometimes people tell you you're incapacitated, people tell you you're bad luck, people tell you that you're draining your finances, and depending on the kind of family you come to, there are people living with STD that have come from families where their parents themselves are tired. There are people that have had challenges with their siblings because it feels like the whole attention is on you, and your siblings, if they don't have the right understanding, they start hating you because it looks like every time you're the one looking for the attention, every time your parents are giving you the attention and they need it. A lot of these things get to affect your self-esteem, and if you don't have a healthy self-esteem, you start feeling like you're less, or start feeling like, okay, probably you can't get through it, and all of that. So you have to constantly remind yourself of who you are. You have to make sure you have a very healthy mindset.
I don't think as a sickle cell warrior you are limited to a certain way of life. I don't believe so. Yes, there are some things you have to avoid, but personally, I feel you can do anything you want to do as a sickle cell warrior. You can achieve anything you want to do. If you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be an engineer, anything you want to do, you can.
Okay, I've had a lot of people walk up to me and say, how is the pain? How is the sickle cell crisis pain? I think that's one of the worst pains in your life. They used to say that, okay, they want to compare sickle cell to labor pain, but it's more. It's actually more. After I had my baby, somebody asked me, he's also a warrior, and he said, which of the pain is more painful? And I said, I don't think there's another pain that's more painful than sickle cell crisis. So while I was growing up, at a point when I was much younger, there are days it flashes my mind now, and I'll be like, if my parents didn't get married, or maybe they had checked their genotype, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be in this position. But then if they're not married, I probably wouldn't have been here, and I'm happy I'm here.
The time that I get married, I didn't know that my husband is AS, and I didn't know that which is AS. Till I get SS. Before that, I discovered that my husband is SS and me too am SS and AS. And after that, I know to blame myself because I didn't know before the thing happened.
Well, I won't exactly even blame my parents for my conditions. I don't blame my parents. I have never blamed my parents for my condition because I know sometimes life happens and then they were probably not aware about their genotype at that moment, or their genotypes, sorry, at that moment. So it was not something they could have prevented, let me put it that way, because they were not aware. But now, with the amount of awareness that is going on about sickle cell disorder and sickle cell anemia, I feel it's very much enough for people to be aware of their genotypes and then know about sickle cell and how to prevent sickle cell in future generation.
My advice for the younger one that is prepared to get married, it's good for them to know their genotype because SS sickness is different than other people. It's very terrible sickness. Once they start the sickness, you cannot be able to bear it except God help. I advise for people to find young ones to find out before they're getting married, how the person they want to get married to, whether it's SS or it's AS.
Okay, June 19th is Sickle Cell Awareness Day. I always tell people, please know your genotype. Sickle cell might not have a cure right now, but it's something that can be prevented by just very simple steps. Please know your genotype, especially before you get married. It's not that difficult. I tell people that one of the first questions you should ask on your first date is what's your genotype. I used to do that before I got married. That used to be my first question, and I didn't care, because some people think that the guy might see you as being desperate. It's not. It's just me trying to save myself and save my children, because I wanted to have kids. So please, when you go out on dates, instead of asking what's your favorite color, please ask what's your genotype. It will save a lot of children from this whole hardship. Every time I see young children in Nigeria with sickle cell, it breaks my heart, because I'm like, now we are knowledgeable. Now genotype test is very cheap. I think it's between 500 to 800 naira. It's something we can do to save people from all the stress. Please, let's join our hands together, especially in Nigeria, and break this cycle. Just know your genotype, break the cycle, so we can all have healthy and happy population in Nigeria.
Okay, yes. So, well, I'm a medical doctor. I'm a sickle cell warrior. So I have to tell you about sickle cell. June 19th is our World Sickle Cell Day, and we're trying to raise awareness to the public, the society about sickle cell, and we want to tell you, we want to advise you that you should know your genotype before you even go into the relation. So if you meet that fine boy, you meet that fine girl, you guys are talking, you're in the talking stage. First question is, do you know your genotype? Ask the person, and you should know your genotype so that you will help to reduce the sickle cell burden in the nearest future. So I'll be giving you a breakdown of the type of genotypes that can marry, that can stay together. Now, if you are AA, that's safe. If you are AS, there are two things involved. It's either you marry AA or you marry AA. AASS is good, AASC is good, AACC is good, ASAS it's really not good. ASSS is very bad, ASSC is very bad, ASCC is very bad. So what I'm trying to say in conclusion is that if your AS, your SS, your SC, and your CC, you can only get married to someone who has the AA genotype to prevent stories that touch in the nearest future. So, as I said, June 19th is our World Sickle Cell Day, and we have so many programs raising awareness about sickle cell, and